Loading your self-signed certificates into the various computers that you have to manage is always a pain. So I built something cool for you. A certificates UI that will load the certificate from your cluster and present a nice dashboard to your users or in your network so you can easily install it on your various devices. So let's install it. I'm Garrett and this is TimmerTech. Loading your self-signed certificates into various devices is always hard, or at least time consuming. So what I did is I built a certificates UI that you can run inside your Kubernetes cluster. You can configure it with the certificates that you want to expose. It will build everything up and the user is simply giving a website and it can directly install those certificates into their device. Easy and fast. Let me show you the project. So I created this on GitHub. It's on github.com/ggrtimmer/search-ui. And I created even a GitHub pages for it. So let's jump over there and see what we got. So this is the certificates UI project. Now, what is it? As you can see, I put a screenshot in it. It is for a Kubernetes cluster. So what you do is you configure the secrets of the certificates you want to expose, and it will generate a install script for Linux, macOS, and Windows. It can even do it for mobile, for Android and iOS. And it also provides manual downloads for those who want to download the certificates and install them on their operating system by hand. So this is the result, what we're going to be installing on our cluster. It can be installed by Helm or helmfile. So this is what we're going to do. Let's get it configured. For installing the certificates UI, we are going to use our K3s cluster repository we have been using in previous episodes. And we're simply adding it to our project. So let's run through the configuration. Let's quickly go over the configuration of our certificates UI. So we're going to go to our favorite repository, our K3s repository we have been using in the past few episodes, link down below. And here we are. So what we're doing here is simply the default for our deployment. You can simply copy this from the GitHub pages of the project. And it defines our values. So when it comes to the values, there are two main things here. We have the ingress to set up the route so we can access it. And we have the options of the certificates UI. So the ingress has a dual option. It can use the standard Kubernetes ingress and the traffic route ingress from traffic, which I'm using. So ingress is enabled so we can access it. Traffic enabled true. Priority 2000 with entry point web. This actually is linked to my previous episode when I set up the internal load balancer. The priority ensures that it will override the redirect from HTTP to HTTPS, because in this case, I want this to be accessible through HTTP so that we can access it from an insecure website, load our certificates in our cluster, and then everything will be okay, which is fine for local network setup. Class name, traffic internal. I want this to be served by our internal load balancer. And here's an annotation. This annotation has to do with the traffic cert manager we set up in the previous episode when we were setting up our load balancers. And I'm setting it to the search.k3s. Options, I'm setting it to HTTP. I'm setting it to the search K3s. I'm giving a default namespace where our certificates should be loaded from. Recheck every 5 minutes. And then our certificates. So what I'm doing here is you're giving it a name and you're giving the secret name of the secret in your cluster. And then the data key, the secret key it needs to access, in this case, tls.cert. Optionally, you can here override the namespace where to pull the secret from. And finally, of course, I added it to our helmfile deployment. We should now be ready to deploy it. So let's jump to our repository, and here we are. So we're gonna go to build, pipelines, new pipeline, and we're gonna say deployments, yes, new pipeline. And that's it. Now, let's quickly jump to our cluster so we can see it deployed. So we are waiting for deployment, and it would mean that in a few moments, everything should come online. So I'm checking on my other screen. It is being deployed. I can quickly show you the deploy job is running. So we're going to jump quickly back to our cluster. And there it is. It's being deployed. Now let's check the logging for it. Everything looks perfect. No errors. It says that generating the scripts for different operating systems. It was able to find all the secrets. What's left is checking our load balancer to see if it has been added. So we're going to jump to our internal load balancer, the dashboard we set up in our previous episode. Here we are, and we're going to check. And here it is. We have a search.k3s, and we have it unsecured. Everything looks good. It has been deployed. Let's check if we can access it. So here it is. I opened it already. We have a not secure search.k3s, and here it is. Welcome to search.k3s. Let's add our own self-signed certificates to our local computer using our brand new certificates UI. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to our search.k3s, and I am on macOS. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to my terminal. And in order to install my certificates, only thing I should be able to do is load this. Now, first, let's check that everything is not okay. So we're going to go back to our browser, and we can see here our internal load balancer dashboard is not secure. It's HTTPS, but the browser doesn't recognize our certificate. Let's jump to our terminal and run our install. It asks for my root password. I get a pop-up that I have to install it into my keychain. It's done. After installing my certificate, I had to restart my browser. But after that, everything worked perfectly. And here we go. Now you can see that my internal website for my traffic internal load balancer is now fully secured and recognized by my browser. Everything is now perfect because the root certificate has been loaded. Everything else have also been loaded. So everything works now perfectly. I hope you enjoyed this video onto how to set up a web page for easy and quickly loading your own self-signed certificates into the various devices in your network. If you enjoyed this video, comment below, like, subscribe. It really helps me out, and I see you in the next video. I am Garrett, and this is TheFatRat.